So now y'all come into my kitchen. This is Cooking Today. Hi, welcome to Cooking Today. I'm glad that you're here. Happy Wednesday. We love being in the kitchen with you here. I don't know if you follow Cooking Today on Facebook, but you should. Since we have filmed our last episode, I had some fun news that I got to share with everyone on the Cooking Today Facebook page. And that news is that I have contracted to author my own cookbook. I'm really tickled. It was so nice of so many of you on the Cooking Today page to comment and cheer me on, and I really appreciate it so much. I really do. This is such a fun journey to be on with so many of you, and I really am grateful. And it's coming out this fall before Christmas, so I'm really excited. Some of your very favorite Cooking Today recipes will be in the new cookbook. So all of these recipes will be in one spot so that you don't have to go find it on our Facebook page or look it up on our YouTube page or look it up on Unimay's Instagram. It's all going to be in one spot for you. And better yet, there will be new recipes as well. So a little bit of everything. I'm really tickled. One of the recipes that is going to be in the cookbook is Unimay's recipe for her homemade peach fried pies. It's a long route. It starts with homemade pie crust. We cook down our peaches with lots of sugar. We use a cast iron skillet. It's the old-fashioned way where you cook them on the stove top and all that. We are doing today a shortcut hand pie for you. So easy. Something that you can make on like a Saturday if you have a sweet tooth. They kind of cross over somewhere between dessert and breakfast, which is kind of fun, right? Which means you can just totally have them sitting out on the counter to eat. And that's what we like, right? A snack on the counter. So today we're gonna do our short version. These are so many little shortcut ingredients and they've got a lot of good flavor. Here are some of the things that are really important for you to have in some of our shortcut ingredients. We're going to use store-bought refrigerated pie crusts. You know these. And we're going to use the whole package. So we've got 2 of those. We're going to mix up a cream cheese little spread to go in with our fruit because why wouldn't we? I mean, you can certainly just do fruit on the inside if you would like. But I almost love that little bit of like Danishy flavor. You know what I mean? Like a cream cheese Danish with our fruit. So we're kind of doing a little bit of both. And so we're going to mix that up really well. Then our other store-bought ingredients are just some really good quality preserves that you buy off of the shelf at your grocery. You can totally make your own preserves if you would like. But this is my shortcut hand pie recipe. And then that's it. Isn't that so easy? So we do have a couple of things also that are your tools that you might need to use. A good sheet pan, and if I haven't convinced you already to own a sheet pan, a good sheet pan or 2 or 4, you need to have them. I use them all the time in almost every single recipe. And I have a silicone mat on top of mine, but you could use parchment if you would like. And then I have my little scoop. This is a tablespoon scoop that I use for, gosh, I don't know, cookie dough, like to make some small cookies or, you know, just anything else that you need to do just little bits of. And so this is a great pre-measure for you because we're going to scoop our cream cheese mixture and then scoop our jams and preserves into our pies. And so this is really great because of the little release lever and you don't have to get your hands in there. So that's kind of some of the important tools that you could use for the day. And that's it. So that's all it takes and we're going to get going, okay? We're going to start with our cream cheese filling. And what we have is 4 ounces of cream cheese that is absolutely at room temperature. If it's not room temperature, then it is going to be clumpy and we want it to be nice and smooth. And we just, while we were talking, I separated an egg. Did you see that? 1 large egg. I dropped the whites, we're gonna save these, in a little bowl, and I put the yolk in with my cream cheese, okay? To my cream cheese, I added, while we were visiting, a little bit of vanilla. I splashed it in, it's probably about a teaspoon or so. You can eyeball that if you'd like. And then to this, we're adding about three or four tablespoons of powdered sugar, okay? And that is going to become our little filling. If you have a hand mixer, you can absolutely use a hand mixer. My cream cheese is soft enough that I feel like I really am gonna be okay by just using my fork to incorporate my cream cheese, my vanilla, my egg yolk, and my powdered sugar. So I'm gonna just give this a little spin, kind of mash it up and stir it as I go until it's nice and smooth. I'm gonna give it a little taste to be sure it's just sweet enough. I can always add a little bit more vanilla or powdered sugar. And then when we come back, we're gonna start cutting our little squares to make our pastries. This is Cooking Today. Hi, welcome back to Cooking Today. I'm glad that you are joining us today. We are making a really easy cream cheese and fruit preserve hand pie today. All store-bought ingredients, all really, really easy. Yes, I know how to make homemade pie crust. We've done it before on this show with Beth, and we've done all kinds of things from scratch, sauces and cakes and all that, muffins, cookies. Today is not that day. We're doing shortcut because sometimes you need to do other things in your life besides standing in the kitchen for an hour, right? These are so easy. So what we've done is we've made a little cream cheesy filling. So these are kind of like, I was thinking like I love a little fruit pie, like a little hand pie, but I love a cream cheese Danish. Don't you love a cream cheese Danish? So we're mixing the two. A little bit of cream cheese, like sweetened cream cheese filling right here that we just mixed up, and some easy, yummy fruit preserves that we've store-bought that are gonna go in these. So we have mixed up our cream cheese filling, and now on to our crust. What I have is one package of the refrigerated pie crusts. They need to sit at room temperature for probably 20 minutes or more. They need to be able to roll out without holding on to itself or cracking. And by letting it sit at room temperature for just a little bit, it will help them be a little bit more pliable instead of so, firm and tightened up. So I'm rolling these out. I'm getting really careful right here at the end where it's rolled up really nice and tight, okay? And I'm working on one of my silicone mats. You could do this on a barely floured surface or parchment sheets, anything like that. But these little silicone mats, we have these at Unimaze. They're so versatile. I'm using it on my countertop and I'm using it in my sheet pan. Then I have my big rolling pin and I want to just kind of smooth this out and give it a little bit more surface, especially right here where we've unrolled it and it was kind of a little bit tight. Get that rolled out really nice. And then I'm going to roll it this way. Now, these are circles, and we're about to try to make squares, aren't we? Or little, triangles. And you can't do that with a round pie dough. So I take a little sharp paring knife, and I'm not making it a complete square because we don't want to lose that much of our crust. We don't want to throw it in the trash. But what I'm doing is cutting just the very edge of it off. And I'll show you in a minute why this works. Just kind of that outside edge, okay? And then we kind of at least have some, like 4 straight sides. Even though we have these little rounded edges, it's not gonna matter because those are gonna tuck inside and you're never gonna know. But we do want to kind of create 4 sides. My mom would roll that out and bake it with butter and cinnamon sugar on it. Those little pieces. It should be a sin to throw away pie dough. Okay, then same knife, gently so I don't cut my pastry, my little pastry board here. I make them into squares, okay? Isn't that easy? And we're gonna do the same thing with our other roll as well. Then what we wanna do is, I've got cherry preserves. And by preserves, I mean there are like yummy, sweet, tart chunks of fruit actually in this. We don't want something that's like a jelly because it's basically just the fruit flavored gelatin and it will turn into absolute mush. We want something that's actually got chew, like fruit in it, okie doke. And then also we have strawberry preserves. This little brand, I get this at my grocery, they're just about everywhere. They also have an apricot preserve with big, yummy chunks of apricot in it. They have blueberry as well. So you could even do like a little variety of these, you know, however that you would like. Okie doke. Now, I've got my 4 squares here. And then I have my little measure, remember I told you? And what I'm gonna do is find the center and do a little dollop. Find the center, do a little dollop. Y'all, you could do these with your kids. It's really simple. And they're really yummy, y'all. Okay, so look, our 4 little centers. Alrighty. I'm gonna rinse that off. And then I'm gonna take a spoon. Let me grab one real quick since I've just washed this off. I'm just gonna take a regular old soup spoon or, you know, serving spoon and just kind of spread this out. Now, we're kind of in the center. We don't want to spread it around the whole thing. We're not making like a pizza where you're wanting to put sauce all the way around it. That's not what we're going for. We kind of want to keep it in the middle because ultimately we're going to take this corner up and over and fold it to meet it like a triangle, okay? Like a little turnover. And so we're just going to start to spread our little bit out just in the middle. Okay, see that? And that's it. I am going to continue spreading out our little cream cheese mixture. And then when we come back, we're going to dollop in our fruit and fold them over. Stick them in the oven. It's that easy. Come back. This is Cooking Today. Hi, welcome back. We are making really easy hand pies today. Store-bought crust, a really easy little mixed sweet cream cheese filling, a dollop of a good premium quality fruit preserve, baking them in the oven and serving them right up. It's so simple. What we have done so far is mixed up our cream cheese filling, a little bit of vanilla, an egg yolk. We've saved the whites because we're gonna brush these with a little bit of white at the end and it gives it a nice little crispy top. And then we have rolled out and cut our pre-packaged pie crusts into these little squares. We're calling them squares. I'm going to show you why those little rounded edges are not going to affect this whatsoever. We've taken our scoop and scooped in about the middle of each of the squares with our cream cheese mixture and then given it a little spread. You do not want to get close to the edges. You really are trying to think about this being like almost like a wonton or a little dumpling with that little bit of mound in the center because we need to have lots of room on the outside to seal our crust and fold our crust closed. If you get too close to the edge with your cream cheese and your preserve, it's going to cook out and it happens to the best of us. You can still eat it. There's no trouble eating it. It just might not be as pretty, but it's pie crust. It doesn't matter. So we have gone ahead and done our little dollop of our cream cheese mixture. And then these I went ahead and did, and I used cherry preserves in these 4. And now I'm switching over to my strawberry preserve with my little tablespoon scoop. And I'm not going to spread that one, okay? I'm just going to lump it right in the top. And I would even say this, I would err on probably putting your cream cheese and your fruit filling closer to the back than right here. This center where these are all meeting, that's our point, what we're gonna kind of meet over. And so when in doubt, I would stay further away from this point, if that makes any sense. If you hit it in the middle, you should be pretty good. Okay. Ooh, that one's got a good clump. I'm gonna do that one because that's got a berry in it. Yummy. And on this one, on the fruit, these are really kind of cream cheese ham pies. The fruit is just to give it a little tart. It's not supposed to be the bulk of it. So I would even say on my spoon, my tablespoon of putting the fruit filling in there, it's probably a scant tablespoon. It's not a complete one, just enough to add a little tart sweet to our cream cheese mixture. Okay, so look, here's our little square, okay? Now, I have the egg white. Remember we had the egg white from when we separated our eggs and the yolk went inside our cream cheese mixture. I'm just taking my finger and we're going right down this seam right here and we're hitting all 4 crusts right here, okay? I'm going right down my cuts all the way around. And what this egg white does is it kind of creates glue. It's sticky. So that when we turn our pie crusts onto themselves and make our little turnovers, it's going to help them seal a little bit better. Okie doke. Ta-da! So did you see? Pretty thorough on that. Doesn't taste like egg. You don't have to worry about anything like that. It's just going to create some glue. Now, remember I said that those rounded corners didn't really matter all that much? We're taking our rounded side and we're going to pull in to the center. And remember, there's our little kind of glop of filling right in the center. We are pulling these sides in and we're not meeting all the way over to the end. We're kind of leaving about 1/4 inch space. The top is not meeting, we're not meeting it like we're folding a piece of paper. It's gonna go like this. Do you see the difference? We want a little tiny bit of the under bit of the crust left because we're gonna fold it over like that. Did you see that? Okay. Then we're gonna fold them all up and over till they almost meet. And we're giving this a good little pinch down right there, okay? Good little press. And then there's our 4th one. A good little press. See? We're making like little wontons. Then I take my spatula here to kind of get underneath and pull them apart just a little bit so that I can work with each one, okay? Now, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take the point, fold it up on itself. We're gonna take these corners, fold them on themselves, like we're making kind of an envelope. So we've done our 3 sides, our 2 sides, and our middle, and then watch this. Fold, fold, press. All we're gonna do, poke a hole with fork right in the top of that, bake them at 400 degrees for, I don't know, 20 minutes or so. Poke a hole, brush them with our egg wash, bake them, piece of cake. When we come back, you're gonna see how cute these are. This is cooking today. Welcome back to Cooking Today. We have just wrapped up making these wonderful, easy hand pies with a little cream cheese on the inside and a little tart preserve. It's just such a simple little recipe to make. Like I said earlier, great for breakfast, like a little pastry for breakfast. Kind of good for a little snack and dessert afterwards. Just really fun to have sitting out. And the nice thing is, once they bake, you need to let them cool. And they can just sit at room temperature, and so you can just kind of grab and go whenever. Let me do a little recap of how we made them. We made our cream cheese filling, and we put it right in the middle with a little preserve, and we made our little squares, and then I folded over the top to meet the point, folded up the point, folded up each of the sides, and then crimped all the way around, kind of pressed them together after we did a little egg wash. And then I washed them over, did a little brush over with the leftover egg white to get this beautiful golden baked crust. Then after the egg wash, did a little sprinkle of baker's sugar, something that's kind of fun and chunky. You could do raw sugar if you would like. I had some fun little like sprinkling sugar. Just went over the top and then did the tiniest little slit right in the top. You don't want that little cut to be too big because your filling cooks out. Let them cool, and then I made the easiest little drizzly glaze with a 1/4 cup of powdered sugar and 2 tablespoons of half and half, and that's it. We have these easy, delicious hand pies. I hope that you'll try this recipe at home. Look at that. Love every bite. This is Cooking Today.